5 days. Personally, I can go 5 days without skating before my life's in shambles and I want to put my brain on the wall like Ernest Hemingway. 5 days. Used to think it was an identity crisis, getting older. Couldn't be farther from the truth. What it was is I'm addicted to the feeling of riding a skateboard. And if I don't do it, my life sucks. You know, the flow state, the endorphin release, even the technical capacity it takes just to ride a skateboard down the street without hitting a rock and dying. Speaking of tech, that may be our theme tonight. Oh, it sure is. I'm calling this one Goated Tech Skaters. Parameters are simple. They are extremely good tech skaters, but they got some other flavor going on. Maybe they're really stylish. Maybe they have a really good spot selection. Shit, maybe they invented every tech thing we all do on our boards today. Tonight's quote, technical quote that is, comes from rapper MF Doom. There's 4 sides to every story. If these walls could talk, they'd probably still ignore me. You can figure out how tech that quote is on your own time. But speaking of rappers, did you see this guy on Instagram doing a perfect front foot impossible while spitting bars? It says his rap name is Bukue1. His name's Tion Torrance. Or if you used to skate with the guy and lose to him like 1,000 times in games of skate because he's such a technical god, you call him by his skate name, Tecchy Flats. Good to see you doing great out there, Tion. Good to see the world taking notice of somebody who fucking rips. Anyway, the last aside I have before we get into these tech skaters is, and it's a heavy one, is 2025 the greatest year in skate media history in at least the last 10 years, if not 15 or 20. Hockey 4, so fucking sick. Everything these guys do is genius. Diego Todd with the front 360 heel flip out. This Cruz Mosberg guy came out of nowhere and just fucking annihilates. And you know Andrew Allen is one of my goddamn favorites. The way he bonked off the bank and still caught that half cab flip in. And then Ben K can still 50-50 anything. He doesn't need to learn any other tricks. Alex Midler for Guess Jeans. Dude is absolutely one of the gnarliest guys to ever ride a board. His style, his clothing choice, maybe not so much. But he's getting paid by Guess. That's pretty sick. Kwesi in this Disorder video, this guy is amazing. Is that the biggest backsmith down a straight handrail ever? And this is obviously the biggest front feeble, and I heard he had a separated shoulder. This dude is on a different fucking level, and I'm talking about a video that has Nyjah in it. You know how to pick him, Jah. I got to give you credit. The obligatory Japanese guy who's better than all of us. And Jah in pants. That's probably the biggest surprise of this whole video. Appleyard has a part so sick. And then Nick Matthews, anti-hero pro now. And just the sickest pure street skater out right now. One of my absolute favorites. That big flip was fucked. And then Ishod dropped a new part, this Oceania part. And he's showing you why no one else should do a nose slide to crook combo ever again. The trick shut down. Brian Wenning got out of prison. He looks pretty rough, but he can switch back tail. We'll see what comes of it. And then, of course, Stevie beefing with Eric Koston over the ugliest shoe ever made. You're both fucking dumb. I hate you both now. And Gifted was pretty sick in it. The clothing choice in this video is a little weird. It's Jesse Alba like 4 years ago. They're all trying to be ironic, but Ryan Lay looks really good on the board. Jerry knows how to pick them, but we know who the superstars in this video are. Glick is one of the greatest people to ever pick up a skateboard. Dude is so sick. This ender was ridiculous. Sorry to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it. And then, of course, the cherry on the top for this video was seeing Jerry skate. Weird seeing him in baggy pants, but I guess he's sort of working class now that he has his own company. Perfect nollie hard. One of the sickest dark slides I've seen in a while, and we'll see a lot of dark slides today in the tech video. And then this is unjustified on how cool it is, and it came out of absolutely fucking nowhere. Bobby the Keyzer is maybe the sickest style god who does tech tricks out right now, and the power he skates with. But the way they use this format of long form without a real storyline, but just to show what he goes through to get these tricks at the same singular spot over time. It's a piece of modern art, and if people that did film and chose what went to film festivals didn't have their heads so far up their fucking ass, we'd be seeing it at a Sundance or a Cannes film festival. The icing on the cake, of course, is Joslin tray flipped down El Toro, and they didn't ruin it by putting out the footage. I'm not even showing everything that's come out this year so far. I'm not even showing how sick the Dime Glory Challenge was, or the ASICS video with Jocko, and a host of other videos, USA and other parts of the world. 2025 may go down in history as the greatest year for skate videos since maybe 2010, 2005, or a banger year like 2003 when Yeah Right came out. Just saying. Almost round 3, we're breaking off with Chris Haslam. one of the most gifted tech skaters, one of my favorite Canadian skaters. Remember that frontside dark slide right there? It'll come back around for you. Backside 5-0 varial flip, shove it, rewind, shove it, or varial flip, underflip. Maybe some of the worst looking gear. It fit the time period, but looking back now, he looks like a guitarist in Wasp or something. Zach Wilde. Those bulky circas or globes or whatever he's skating. But his skating is undeniable. I feel like he was way ahead of his time. He was in a Deca second to none before this, but he really came into his own. Whatever that trick was over the Bezos bump to bar. The crook toe flip, so sick on that crusty New York ground. The kick flip backside feeble. You don't see that trick that often anymore. Backside board slide frontside flip on LA High. And of course, varial flip Smith. How many times have you seen that one down a handrail? Not very often. Whatever this is, front board hard flip or ghetto bird out. I don't know what it was. Switch laser down in Australia. The wall ride nollie toe flip out. The one-footed front board. This guy's on a whole different level. This round 3, Rodney versus Day One came out in 2004, right around Christmas. That kickflip back Smith down the 12 at Hollywood High. Fucking gnarly. I like the gear to it. Fits Chris really well. He's obviously a really smart skater when it comes to what he chooses to do. He can get gnarly and super tech. This Transworld part's really sick. I like how he's looking like the guy on the pack of zigzag papers. He looks like he smokes 6,000 joints a day. But in researching this, that trick was insane in San Jose. In researching this, I realized Chris doesn't smoke weed. I don't know how you get this insane on a board without it. Kickflip, nose manny, nollie hard flip out. The guy's style, no one's ever going to write home about it. The not a spin shove it. But I think I can highly appreciate it. Fakey tray flip, fakey nose grind. Are you fucking kidding me on a quarter pipe? Nollie inward heel, front crook fakey. This guy is just untouched. There's so many people that have never done any of these tricks he's doing. Skating with Day One for all those years really bled off on him. And this trick at Sunnyvale Park, half cab nose grind, nollie big heel flip out on like a 3-foot tall quarter pipe. Who is even doing that? When I watch Chris skate, though, he just makes me want to go out and skate. I mean, this is way more tech than I would ever skate. I don't even know what to call that underflip thingy right there. You can call it out in the comments. You can make me look like a goddamn fool. I don't give a fuck. I like all these, like some sort of Casper flip thing where he catches the truck and flips it back over. That farmer's market trick was sick out of the tail slide. And then whatever this is, varial flip. I can't even call it. You can tell me what it is. And then a groundbreaking video, Cheese and Crackers, came out of nowhere. Reading these interviews with Chris recently, he said that they got really stoked on that Chichagoff Volcom video where there was that Mark Appleyard and Jeff Raleigh mini ramp part in the woods, and Raleigh had a handgun out and he was ready to shoot those mountain lions. Super sick, but this takes it to an all-time new level. He does so many blunt transfer or blunt variations, flip out. That was blunt double flip. It's just insane. I would like to know if someone could put together maybe Dumb Data could put together like a sheet of how many of these tricks have been done ever since. The switch blunt frontside flip. It's just insane to roll and go switch backside 5-0 from that janky ass setup. And to think Chris had to skate in this video with Daewon Song, who is only not on my tech list because I already had him in a style video. Daewon, as I've said, may be the greatest skater in history if we had to say something stupid like that. He's just the most gifted and the most dedicated. The front 5-0 to front nose slide to come out regular. Ridiculous shit here, Chris. He started Brainchild skateboards. Just an absolute legend. It gives back to charities, so that was sick. He didn't really know what to do with his life after he was leaving Almost and Globe, but it looks like he found where he needed to be, and it looks like he's still skating. So shout out, Chris. You're a fucking absolute ripper, and without a doubt, one of the most gifted tech skaters who will ever pick up a board. Switch blunt toe flip. Who could even toe flip besides P-Rod and a couple other people? I feel like he made that look pretty good, too, for how sketchy it'd be to come back into some Masonite like that. The nose grind, nollie flip out, ledge trick that should never be done on transition, but he popped that so well. The weird jeans, he's looking like he's Lemmy from Motorhead right there. I wonder maybe he's doing speed here. Who knows? Anything's possible in this dungeon he was skating with Daewon at. The 180 crooks fakey flip in, that was so fucking rad. And then the blunt kick flip, triple flip to fakey. He did these sort of triple flips and double flips to try to hang on a level with Daewon, and I think he did a great job. He's not outshined. Shane O'Neill. Obviously, one of the most gifted tech skaters ever. This is a Welcome to Primitive part. This is pretty old, 9 years ago. Look at how perfect that fucking switch flip was. He's got one of the greatest styles. He's one of the greatest technicians and also has one of the greatest styles ever. Just the way he performs flip tricks, it just looks so beautiful. He has such proper pop. The way he grinds ledges, like how he dipped that backside Smith. He can skate some transition. These days he's owning April skateboards. The switch varial flip had way too much style on it. Not everything I put in here obviously is a tech trick, but Shane is so fucking good. You have to peruse through his footage because, oh my God, it was hard to choose which tricks to put in here. The switch flip backtail on a handrail, a little short handrail, but it doesn't matter. It's fucking nuts. He makes everything look so damn good. Big spin, fakie 5-0 the hard way, the Henry Sanchez way. And what is that, switch tray flip, double flip? Fucking get out of here, Shane. I don't know much about the guy, and I decided to not read any interviews. I like his mystique. I like the thing he's got going on where he's not really out there talking too much or saying stupid shit or commenting on Instagram or getting in beefs with Eric Koston. God damn it, Stevie. I love you, Stevie, but get off your high horse over this stupid-ass fucking Nike shoe. Switch flip back nose blunt. Switch back nose blunt. Let's get that right. I wonder how many pairs of Janowski's Shane O'Neill sold by himself. This is a lot newer. This is 10 months ago. Shane goes 2. This part's so sick. It's a little more cruisy than what we just watched. He's not, getting welcomed to the primitive team right here. The nollie backside flip, fakie 5-0, revert the hard way. The tray flip couldn't be any better. This is a Salt Lake City rail. I saladed that back in 2005, frontside salad. I think they ripped it out recently. Back 180 nose grind, nollie backside flip out. Who is even doing this shit, having fun doing it, and then making it look good on top of that? I just don't know where you could even typify Shane. He's got the best switch flip on transition, without a doubt. That nollie cab was sick. Yeah, you can say it's a nollie 360 in the comments. I don't really give a fuck. It's just easier to say cab. Anyway, my stoke level is so high. I wish it wasn't 11 o'clock at night right now so I could go skate more. Maybe I will. Maybe go skate the curb down the street, get kicked out by the cops for the 10th time recently. Anyone that skates around Iowa, I got mad respect for you. It's some goddamn rough ground out here. My park sucks, and I'm still having fun. Nollie over crook, like literally went past a regular nose blunt into an over crook, and then just putting the hurtin' on Pier 7. I feel like Shane has always had a good clothing style too. Not that that's pertinent to any sort of tech skating, but I feel like a lot of tech skaters dress shittily. I don't know what the theme is there, but Shane isn't one of them. The pretzel nollie 270 flip out, fucking ridiculous. I don't even want to do play-by-play golf announcing on some of this shit. It's just so tech, you just have to appreciate it for what it is. The hottest ledge in LA right now, everyone's skating that shit. Look at that switch heel flip. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to slow-mo that shit. One of the most beautiful maybe ever done in the history of this planet. The switch tray flip couldn't have been any better. The April board's sick. I like how they don't really have any graphics. I don't know why I'm okay with it. Maybe it's because Shane's skating is so sick that I don't even give a fuck. But these are untouchable tricks by an untouchable guy. I saw him warm up at an X Games once in 2011 playing Luan. It's the most mind-blown I've ever been. Guy Mariano, he may make an appearance later. He may be one of the most tech legends and a style legend at that, at least until he got sober and came back. He was not a style legend at that point. Look at the cruising ability there, the way he pinches his front crooks. Ricky Glazer, you need to learn how to pinch your crooks like Shane O'Neill. The switch flip over the rumble strip, down the stairs, the switchback Smith varial heel flip, so fucking proper and dipped. And then he's going really slow right there. But if you're going to tray flip, nose grind, nollie flip, you're allowed to go slow as you want. You don't need to go business speed if you're going to get tech heavy. Switch backside flip was fucking perfect. Name a better one. And he's just cruising here, like I said. The switch big spin couldn't have been performed with any more grace and style. It's funny seeing him not skating Janowski's. I feel like I'm watching a different person. And then that switch flip backside lip slide, fucking to die for. I'm not even going to name that trick. You can go ahead and do it yourself. The backside big spin, late big spin, I want to say, or late shove it. It's hard to tell. It was so crazy. Tray flip nose slide to Manny. He's getting his Tony Hawk 4 on when they brought out the manual combos you could do. So sick. And he has to flip out of it and go back to a manual just because he can. Thank you, Shane. Really appreciate what you're bringing to skating from down under. Rodney Mullen. If you don't know who this guy is, you should quit. He is the most important trick inventor of all time. This is a virtual reality part. He's inventing basically everything you're seeing here. The footage is kind of janky because that's how it went down in the 90s, but I love it. The maroon pants are kind of sick. He's got some stees right here. Check this out. Most stylish thing I think I've ever seen Rodney Mullen do. Not the half cab double flip, but that whatever 360 revert around was so rad, Rodney. And the Dark Slide King, I believe he invented them. I believe he did them in so many different ways here in 1992 that no one has even replicated any of this. But Gons is the most important skater of all time. I thought I stated that in the Gons episode. Why? Because of his approach, the way he has fun, the ADHD. You could argue Mullen is more important if you're really into who invented tech flip tricks, but I think the flip tricks would have came if he didn't exist. Maybe not as many sick ones. He's obviously one of the most important guys to ever pick up a board. Real Casper slides. Is anybody doing those? I think I've seen a few in my lifetime besides Rodney. And look, he's dressed like people dress now today. It looks stupid today, too, when people dress like 1992. And then one of the most legendary goes kickflip and a half to Casper slide. I just don't even know how you slide that. I don't care how much wax you applied to that curb spot. And this is the one at the end of Tony Hawk 1 or Tony Hawk 2. I can't remember which video game. But it set me off big time. Rodney is an absolute legend. I don't like to see him cry in Bones Brigade documentaries. Skateboarding is not that serious, but I'm glad he takes it that serious. The places he has taken us, and not this sport, but this art form, it's just unprecedented. It's like a nose Casper slide. I don't even know how to call it. Maybe you do. Blow me up in the comments. Start arguments. Say facetious things. Be a dickhead. I don't care. I'm here for it. And then maybe the gnarliest dark slide ever, and still counting today's dark slides that have come out. I don't know what he was thinking, that Pat Duffy hubba, and he takes it to fakie. So fucking rad, Rodney. I love you, Mom. I love my mom, too. Thanks, Rodney. Yeah, so if the allegations are true about Chris Cole, he's one of the worst humans on the planet. Wife beating is unforgivable. But here at the Gnarly List, we separate the art from the artist. Did you see that tray flip lip slide? As much as I can't stand this guy and his stupid ass fucking leather wristbands and his stupid striped shirts, look at how good he is. We have to appreciate Chris Cole here. That Rick flip was perfect. The nose slide, nollie heel flip on a handrail. A lot of this stuff will never be performed good again because he's that good. Switch nose blunt on the gold rail in DC. Who the fuck thinks that's a good idea? In the shittiest gear ever. Switch front heel down the Antoine spot. Tray flip nose blunt not long after the yeah right one that Eric Koston did. Look at this blizzard flip. But I can't get past the gear. He looks like he's fucking Maximus. He thinks he's Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Fucking dork. Backside 270 nose blunt, though. You make up for the dork factor and the wife beating factor by doing shit like this, tray flipping down Wallenberg. As far as tech gnar gets, and there's a lot of good guys really recently, the last 10 years, Chris Cole's a gold standard, and he's very unlikable, and we will later with Mark Suchu see an interview in which Chris Cole totally blew it on breaking down the Verso part, and I'll break it down for you. But anyway, let's appreciate the skating and not the skater on this one. Insanely good, gifted tech skater. We'll look past the airwalk in the process, because if you're going to blizzard flip in a line, that's fucking nuts. So the switch 360 with a flip, whatever that was, the switch flip blunt slide on a handrail. New Blood came out in 2005. Huge switch tray flip. I love this line. The second trick is so sick. The switch nose grind, fakie big flip out. I don't know if I've seen that one since. The backside flip, fakie nose grind on that stucco Miami hubba. And then this trick, kickflip backside 5-0. Not incredible, but I think the front side shove it out the hard way is pretty sick. Fakie back blunt, fakie tray flip out. Who the fuck is doing that? He just decided to get super tech out of nowhere. He wasn't getting anything like this in Dying to Live in Zero's video from 2002, but by 2005, Chris Cole was a goddamn force to be reckoned with. You did not want to play him in the Barracks game of skate. You did not want to be in a video with him because he's probably going to outshine you, not style-wise, but tech-wise, obviously. Kickflip, wall ride, late shove it. So rad. I've never seen many people do that trick. I don't even know what to call it. Front blunt, backside flip out, tray flip, double flip. Tech gods, for some reason, can do an extra flip on their tray flips and still make it look somewhat good. Nollie 360 with a heel flip in there. Ridiculous at that Beeble spot. Ended Beeble's part in the Lakai video. Henry Sanchez. Now talk about tech legends. Sight Unseen's a fucking legendary video. Obviously, Heath, Cardiel, and Henry. A couple other heads in that, too, that are ripping. He puts on a clinic here at the SF Library. That gap is no joke in person. You have to go pretty fucking fast. He does not have a good style. No one's arguing that. But look at this cab backtail fakie going super fast at Third and Army. The guy can skate like no other. This is just such a sick line to thread together with all these insanely tough tricks in 2001 when this was filmed. And going up river against the wind, if you've ever skated there. Fucking ridiculous, Henry. When everybody was getting high at Embarcadero, Henry was there also getting high on ecstasy or whatever other drugs he could get his hands on, but he was pushing skateboarding so fast. Tray flip 5-0. Fuck, that was so sick. Switch backside flip, he's got it like that. Switch front heel. But I think this guy doesn't get enough recognition because he's such a fucking kook on Instagram. Yes, I said it, he's a kook. But doesn't mean his skating wasn't immaculate. The way he varial heel flips out of this long mani right there, so rad. I'm throwing Marcus McBride in here, one of my favorite skaters, just for sheer raw power. This line's so sick. Never forget he switch tray flipped and nollie backside heel flipped over one of these Pier 7 mani pads. You know how fast you have to go just to ollie that fucking shit? Imagine popping switch tray flip. Kick flip nose blunt to fakie from Henry. He laces it into a line. I don't like the way he dresses. This is obviously inconsequential. I do like the DC links on that half cab heel flip nose slide, or nose mani. Fakie 5-0 on a handrail, and then that backside 180 fakie 5-0. So fucking gnarly. There's the nollie back heel from Marcus McBride. He also skated to Mac Dre in the KO Corp video 2005. The best use of Mac Dre possibly ever, a Bay Area skater using Mac Dre. Yes, he's not my favorite rapper, but he's the most stylish rapper. Okay, let's kick it old school with Tim and Henry's Pack of Lies. This is where Henry is really in his element. If you've ever been to this plaza, those bricks are no joke. To skate on 50mm wheels, going this fast in 1992, doing these tricks. Shove it, backside crook. How often do you see that one? What a tough one to do, but doesn't look that crazy unless you skate. But some of these things he's threading together here, and he's skating powerfully and fast for the time period, extremely fast. If you hold this footage up to some other tech gnarlers like Ocean Howell at the time, who I love Ocean Howell, he'd be in a future video, he's not skating this powerful, and I think Henry had that going for him. Not only was he inventive and tech heavy, but he also just such a good guy on the board. The cab front nose slide to fakie. I wish this spot still existed so everyone could appreciate how hard he's fucking ripping here. 5-0 to front nose, just like what Chris Haslam did on the mini ramp in Cheese and Crackers. It's so sick, Henry. I know I called you a kook, but I can still appreciate you, just like Chris Cole. Chomp on this. He only has a few tricks in this, but what he does have in this is fucking immaculate. Came out the same year as Sight Unseen, or maybe 1 year after. Look at this half cab crooks the hard way. I thought he was the only person I've ever seen do this trick until I edited in Guy Mariano later, who also did the similar trick. Very difficult when you think about it, and then probably the sexiest kickflip back nose blunt ever done. Way ahead of its time. Cory Kennedy. Did you forget about this guy when he went to prison? He had a beer or two and Peastone died in the car crash. Horrible stuff, but this is Beware of Sasquatch, one of the sickest regional homie videos to ever come out of anywhere. Those guys up in Washington, shout out Dylan Jones, are doing something on a different level. They made another video called Hauling Ass to Hall & Oates. I think it was the same group of guys. It was so sick. But let's here focus on Cory here. So nollie toe flip down that with perfect immaculate style. I think he's the best style other than Shane we're going to see tonight doing these tech tricks. Nollie tray flip down anything's no joke. There's that nollie heel 360 that only tech gods can do down anything. Chris Cole did one a little bit earlier. Flip in, flip out shit with just some of the best style that's ever existed. It's just so crisp and clean. I love that trick for some reason. Not super tech, but the way he power slid out of the late revert on the kickflip back tail. And then, of course, the filming in Beware the Sasquatch. I got to remind you who's watching. Perfect switch backside flip. He absolutely takes out that gap in this video. Does a couple other immaculate tricks on it. But I like how much fun he's exuding here. I think most of his career he's always having fun. In his later days before he got in the accident, went to prison, he was skating tranny heavy. I liked all of that. Transition heavy. The front crook to back tail. Absolutely sick. But I think it's doing these tricks with this much style. I don't know what that was, but it was so sick with the sex change, the fakie flip out, the nose grind nollie flip. I always thought he was way better than Mike Mo and Sean Malto. Not necessarily like abilities, but just how much fun he's having on the board. There's the Merlin twist. You ever seen a Merlin twist before or since? No, you have not. And then the Jimi Hendrix High School. Somehow this spot always works its way into my videos, but switch backside big flips down anything is a tech god only sort of trick. Rodrigo TX. We talked about tech skaters in the intro that have power. Let's look at the most powerful tech skater maybe in history. This is a Especial, super slept on video from S. I think it was 2007, maybe 2006. So the switch hard flip back tail is so good. The heel flip into a back tail to fakie. The switch inward heels, that's a tech god trick right there. Stamped and certified. Switch flip to switch out. Didn't take it back around to regular. Nollie front board fakie. Ridiculous tech skills. Another thing about Rodrigo is how good he's been for how long he's been this good. I think he showed up in LA in 99, and he's still, to this day, absolutely murking spots with leaving nothing in his path of destruction left. He just goes to a spot, does the hardest tricks with a ton of pop and power, and just shuts the whole fucking place down. This spot in Prague, I remember it from the Girl Tour video, Harsh Hero Barge 2002. Sick-ass spot. Jeremy Rogers had a sick line there. But I think Rodrigo has this way of looping together these insane tricks that just most people can't do one of these singular tricks. He puts them all together in a line. And I've heard through the grapevine that he's an extremely nice guy. I think anybody that's ever watched him skate, switch flip back tail, the high part on the bench in Barcelona, the shove it backside nose grind, 180 out off the drop in San Jose. We'll check him out, some of his newer shit from Alas. He looks good in Adidas shoes, that's for sure. He's got a tech manual wizard, a tech flip trick wizard, and the guy has got so much fucking pop. Fakey flip up 3 stairs into any manny is just otherworldly. And then the fakey frontside shove it up that was fucked. He's kind of cruising here. This doesn't have that normal power that he skates with because he's getting so tech, but nollie tray flip nose slide, you don't see that one very often. Whatever he's doing on that weird ping pong table, it's got to be Spain. Only Spain builds these spots that are that sick. Frontside flip nose grind on a super high ledge. Thank you, Rodrigo. Just cruising here. I don't know how he made it down those stairs going that slow, but such a god. Kickflip back tail was sexy as hell. Look at the guy. And then one of the most legendary videos and one of the most legendary parts from that video, Can't Stop. Lance Mountain put together an insanely good team here in the early 2000s, and I think this is Rodrigo in his absolute prime. I didn't include his Medic Madi part because it's such a classic. I didn't want to speak over it. It's kind of like the PJ Ladd, Silence is Golden. I want to talk over that. But anyone that knows Rodrigo knows that's one of his best parts. This might be his best, just the way he shuts down that parallel mani pad, the fakey heel flip. What a ridiculous trick, fakey heel flip. Switch front blunt. He's so ahead of his time here. I believe it was 2004. That spot's been getting skated recently a lot. The nollie front crook at Davis, the 180 nose grind, so rad. Front heel over anything is just absolutely bonkers. And his flip in, flip out game is second to none. Only a few people on this planet would be able to show up and skate with Rodrigo and hold a candle up to him. Fakey flip onto that table at Lockwood, absolutely fucked. The hard flip revert. Whatever is going on there. Shutting down LA High with the switch front board, switch shove it. These ledges in the Universidad ones are extremely gnarly to skate in person. He can switch hard flip into a switchback tail because he's Rodrigo. And he does some just insane tricks for that keyhole. That nollie flip crooks is to die for. There's another switch flip back lip. We saw one from Shane. Here's Rodrigo's version. So early to be doing a trick like that. Ridiculous. Shout out Rodrigo. Switch flip Manny in a line. Those Eric Koston ones look fucking sexy as hell right there. I skated a pair of those, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s. And all of a sudden he was on Lakai, but really good shoes to skate in. The nollie flip nose blunt. I think setting up a lunch table isn't that sick, but you're going to do tricks like Rodrigo. It's okay. The inside nose blunt, the JT Ult special right there. I love that trick. Fakey heel flip into a switch manny is just fucking ridiculous. I think he tapped a little bit like right there, but it's okay because he fakey heel flipped in and switch heel flipped out. I'm going to allow it. Wecking ball might, but I'm not wecking ball, so I don't give a fuck. I don't take any steroids before I go skate. Or maybe I do. He's just absolutely shutting these ledges down. I don't know if he went for switch backside Suski there, but he pulled it all the way to switch back tail and just continues the line. Things were a little bit more sloppier there in that time period, but I loved it. The kickflip crooks, he shows up himself on that same rail from Medic Madi. Switch inward heel manual. Who the fuck is doing this shit? Nollie heel nose blunt. Switch tricks for days. A beautiful fakey tray flip. Fakey hard we saw in the hard flip video. So rad. I love this line. This is one of my favorite lines of all time. Switch tray flip is so powerful. Absolutely stomped it. And of course the nose grind went out the hard way. And he sends the keyhole fakey 5-0. So rad, Rodrigo. His handrail game is slept on, I think, when we talk about handrail grades for tech tricks. Switch flip, switch back nose blunt. Get the fuck out of here. Switch front blunt, shove it. Stomps it with style. And the switch flip Suski on a handrail. Ridiculous, Rodrigo. How about Guy Mariano? Just one of the heaviest hitters to ever pick up a skateboard. This is Mouse. If you don't know this video, you should pull it up on YouTube and watch it. Switch backside big flip to start us off. He's absolutely shredding here at the Venice Pit. RIP to that spot. Muska also did perform some radical maneuvers at that spot. Half cab backside nose grind is a very slept on, extremely difficult trick that involves no flipping or nollie. I love the belt flapping around. There's 3 versions of Guy Mariano, in my opinion. There's Little Kid Guy from like video days. There's the second most stylish skater in the mid-90s guy, second only to Tom Penny, in my opinion. And then there's the got sober and got really tech and extremely talented guy, the third iteration, about 2006. I like all of them, but I think this Mouse version with all the style, this switchback tail, oh my god, but it's the revert right here for me. That's really what seals the deal on the style. The shoes, the clothes, the Herbie Hancock song, the switch shove it nose slide. Wow, he shut that shit down. He puts on a clinic in this video, not only on what you can perform on bank to ledge spots or just ledges in general, but also how good you can make it look at the same time. Shane O'Neill is barely even born yet at this time period. But here's Guy, he hits that Mark Gonzalez pole jam rail switch, whatever the fuck that was. There's that Henry Sanchez, the fakey frontside 180, crooked grind the hard way. Fucking ridiculous. Switch back 180 into a fakey 5-0. A switch back 180 on flat ground was sick too. The nose grind all the way back into the bank. Switch backside 50-50 on a handrail. Switch gap to switch back tail, shove it. Switch, shove it, crooked grind. All of those tricks is shutting it down. We're not going to look at his other part from this time period. I want to skip straight to Pretty Sweet because I can't stand Band of Horses. I hate that band. I can't believe Ty let him skate to that song. But it's Guy Mariano, a living legend, one of the most important guys to pick up a board, so we'll look past it. I just don't want to look at that part because every time I watch it, despite all the amazing skating, all I can think of is that stupid-ass song. What is that fakey back nose blunt trick right there? I don't think I've seen it since or before. The Wally back tail flip out, the half cab nose grind on that weird bank spot thingy, front blunt big flip. The guy's out of his fucking mind. I think he was like really feeling it between getting on Lakai and then getting on Nike around this time period. I feel like everybody knew that guy was back to being one of the greatest skaters on the planet. He double backs around to the spot he started on in video days, rides off the wall the nose grind. Smith, big heel. Who the hell is doing this? So many of these tricks are absolutely ridiculous. Shoving out of a tail slide and nose blunt on the lower step. Thank you, Guy. I don't know what to call that trick. Maybe you do. Maybe you can tell me. And there's that Henry Sanchez trick on a handrail the opposite way. Backside 5-0 laser. Not the most beautiful looking tricks on these, but it's Guy. And if he's going to push skateboarding this far, I don't think you need to have great style. It would just be too much. He'd be on a PJ Ladd level if he was doing these maneuvers with the sickest style ever. And he double backs around, starts at the same spot there with that backside 270 tail slide, but does not go to fakie. And the switch tray flip nose grind to end it out. Even Eric Koston is mind blown by that one. Mark Suchu. Okay, we're going to look at one video part, the most complicated video part ever made. It's Mark Suchu's verso. These morons breaking this down, they don't actually break down anything. They don't get to any of the meanings or the rhyme scheme he's using to put together his video part. They're stupid-ass Chris Cole. The problem with this is I love Kelly Hart and I love Roger Bagley, but I can't stand the rest of these guys in this room. And they're actually doing an injustice to Mark here. They're just being stupid stoner bros talking about high art like morons. Then there's this serious article from Jankum about this verso part. It's a little pretentious and a little heavy on quoting famous poetry rather than getting to why what he did here in this video part is so immaculate. It does an all right job. It's an okay article. It just seemed a little pretentious, which people call Mark skating pretentious. It's just really good. Sorry he went to college. Switchback nose blunt flip. How many times have you seen that before or since? The way he uses this spot, I think it's definitely in the UK. I think it's Bristol. The way he starts from the stairs to slide and then slides into the stairs, so rad, Mark. The way he's able to use these spots, that was such a cruisy trick for such a rugged bank to be rolling down. He's got the flip in Manny Steez, pops over the brick wall there at the end. 50-50 to 50-50. He's still just getting started. This is like an intro to the part. This part basically has 4 parts to it. There's like this intro of him ripping. There's like a New York section. And of course, the ending part with the mirror and the 50-50 ender. Shredding at Philly City Hall. Look at the quick feet on that. He's got some of the quickest feet in skateboarding. A beautiful style. Amazing trick selection, spot selection. The guy has it all. There's that Papalardo spot. He goes Smith grind to pole jam. So rad. And then the way he uses this ledge to bank spot in and out. It's kind of a theme. There's the Suchu grind. I think that's what it's called. I don't know if I've ever seen that one since. I was so proper. Thank you, Mark. And then a lot of these weird pretzel 180 ins. There's the cab back nose blunt on the Mosaic hubba. That was so rad. And we're fading into another section of the most complicated video part ever. We'll get to what verso means. That's kind of important for the overall motif Mark's going for here. And it's not that complicated. 50-50 kickflip back tail. Okay, that spot in Barcelona. Nollie frontside flip Manny. The way he popped in was fucking beautiful. Thank you, Mark. The switch big heel. Not a huge set of stairs, but style is what's important here. The switch tail pop over the ledge here at the Milan train station. And the fakie flip up, maybe the most immaculate fakie flip in this video. That was so sick to do in that ledge and keep pushing in a line. Just the way he's threading the shit together. All these tech gods are able to do this where your greatest day of skating, you could maybe do that switch flip back tail. Mark does it in a line on an average day of skating. Love the quick feet there. How many people can do that? And then, of course, he is stylish too, and he can skate very simple if he wants. But he's Just one of the most talented guys to ever pick up a board. I remember hearing about him. I was skating at Jefferson Park in San Jose, maybe 2007, 2008, somewhere in there, and there was a kid ripping. It happened to be Mark. Everyone knew he was going somewhere. Look at the quick feet here. This trick's so sick for a spot that's just skate stopped. Everyone knew he was going somewhere, and he definitely went somewhere and probably did more than anyone thought he was going to do. His Atlas part is really amazing. He's putting the hammer down on this handrail. So many of those tricks are ridiculous. Love the use of that Pulio spot there, the front blown all the way, comes back into the bank, a dream. And, of course, when he's doing lines, the tricks he's able to put into these lines, this one's not the most tech. I just want to throw this in there to show that Mark can be human. This is just him kind of cruising. But just look at the way he operates that spot. It's like the places he skates are built for him. He's traveling the entire world. The flow on this, the way he's switching his feet around. I think there's like a little bit of Mark Gons on that line right there. It's so rad. Perfect switch tray flip. New York City double set, and the pyramid ledge, switchback tail, front shove, front 360 shove out. These are just ridiculous tricks. He even skates it when it's skate stop, the blunt to 5-0 to fakie. So rad, Mark. Switch flip back tail with the skate stopper there. He's shutting down New York. This is New York section. There's that Papalardo spot. I think it's Grant's tomb, the president. The tray flip to no setup backside 360. It was so rad. And then just, why don't we just nollie cab down this level 5 block or the 6 block, whatever it is, in the Bronx or wherever. Here he is skating Blubba. That was the sickest thing ever. I think Gio Iannucci put that trick back on the map in about 04 with the Nike ad, 05 maybe. That was so rad. And then if you didn't think it'd get any sicker, look at the gap to back nose blunt through Blubba, through the kink. He slides for like maybe a foot. Just so powerful. It must have felt so good. And you can hear the fact that he's not using a lot of wax. But let's get into the real deal Holyfield. So keep an eye on this. It spells ABBA, not the shitty band from Scandinavia, but the rhyme scheme, ABBA. Like Piano Man by Billy Joel uses the same rhyme scheme. Pay attention to some of these tricks. He starts off with a front 50-50, the nollie heel 180 nose grind revert. Then he does it nollie frontside flip, 180 nose grind revert. All these tricks are insane, but it doesn't exactly make sense until you've seen this video part a few times. I think those ledges right there are in Long Island. This trick is to die for. It's ridiculously sick. Nollie 180, fakie 5-0, revert out the hard way. I don't know how he keeps his shoulders sideways while his hips whip out first. The guy's extremely talented, obviously. We're going to go back through this section and show why it's called Verso and why this is so important for skateboarders pushing the limit on what's possible artistically while still ripping and making a video part. So let's start with the end of it. So the rhyme scheme he's using here ends the video part of the 50-50. It seems stupid, but what Verso means is it's the left side of a page in a book. And this is actually chiasmus rhyme scheme where it's a giant mirror. And when we play this back, you will see it. Everything mirrors everything. So 50-50, we're starting with the first trick and the last trick and then working into the center. Everything is mirroring itself. Obviously not perfect mirrors, some of them are, but the same idea on every trick. And then the fact that he's able to perform the maneuver, not just think of it, but perform these things together, put them in lines. The guy is on such a different level. He's not my favorite skater, but if you think this guy isn't one of the most talented, one of the smartest guys to ever ride a board and bringing something different to the game. I just love the thought processes that went into this. The name Verso, the rhyme scheme, and the fact that he was able to land the last line, which is probably the most immaculate part. Editing this together was probably harder than explaining it. It took me way longer to edit it together than it's taken to explain. But this is how we get all the way back around, all these mirrors to him ending with the 50-50. Justin Eldridge is too stoned and stupid to understand why this is a history marker for skateboarding video making. But it's all right. We don't expect much from stupid stoners who wasted their career on go. Anyway, we're actually ending with Gustav Tonesen because he's my favorite tech skater out right now. Remember that Chris Haslam frontside dark slide? Yeah. I'm going to bring around the same rhyme scheme Suchu used here. This is my favorite skater that skates somewhat tech out right now. This guy can do fucking everything. He seems like he's floating on water. He might be modern day Jesus. He's probably cooler than Jesus. The use of that spot, the no comply 180 fakie nose grind revert, so rad. If you showed up to that spot and thought you could do that, you wouldn't be able to, but this guy can. I don't know how hard he's trying to like bust the hardest tricks. This is all about style and flow while keeping it tech. Very unassuming guy. I don't know him. I've never heard anything about him, but he's not a huge egotist or anything psycho like that. The way he does the little Antonio Doral 1 foot off, but he makes it look good. And I do like Doral. Don't worry. The Ollie North nose blunt. He's just getting very creative. The way he uses that Manny spot and it goes onto the rail. This guy is just so fucking sick. the switch backside boneless, some straight gone shit. My very good homie Morgan Foster put me onto this guy while we were skating in Barcelona in 2019. I actually somehow hadn't heard of this guy or Sour, so thank you, Morgan Foster, for putting me on. That was a great trip. Your feet smelled bad, my teeth was broken and smelled bad, but we still had a great time. Joe Mobin.
Dude, that was so clean.
Anyway, switchback nose blunt off the tranny wall ride thing. It was so fucking rad. Whatever this blunt slide thing is, it's like he goes to the spot with the best trick in mind and then performs it. I've never seen this one ever done before. Maybe will never be done again. The back 180 fakie nose many and then 180s out the hard way. This guy is such a fucking legend. Already, it's hard to use newer skaters in some of these videos, but I can already tell this guy's going to go down in history forever as one of the most important. Not only does he keep it cruisy and fun, he's also just so far ahead of so many people's skill level in a very unassuming way. The way he popped out that switch backside 5.0, absolutely art. It would be in the same museum as that Bobby de Keyzer skating CBC someday if we ever get our own skateboarding art museum. Mark Gonzalez, if you hear this, please work on that for us. You're maybe the only guy with enough pull in skateboarding to get us our own museum, but we need it. Look at that. Nose bunk, 180 crooks. How the hell are you doing that? The way he translates these ideas to real life is just insane. That old school skate park there in the UK, the switch backside flip was perfect. This was the actual ender, the switch shove it, late shove it over the Bezos bump to bar. I can't even ollie that spot, I'll be honest with you. I couldn't when I went there. He can skate it switch with a switch late shove it. But we're actually going to end this and keep with the theme for Suchu and give Suchu a little more credit. There's that switch frontside dark slide. Fucking insane with a ton of style. And we'll put it with Haslam's just to end out the video with that nice mirror come full circle. Shout out Matthew Carlton for getting back on the board. That's my favorite lawyer skater out there. Shout out Carlos. Shout out Creek Park. I'm going to try to get back to making more episodes. I had some shit to take care of, and I was skating a lot this summer. It was perfect weather where I live in Iowa, so I skated like 4 or 5 times a week, and it was great. But I got to get back to making the videos. Thank you to anybody that watches these and adds comments or any history or anything like that. I am a true skate nerd, obviously, and so are you if you're watching this all the way to this part. Have a good night. I love you all, except for Chris Cole.
Oh, no!